Hey, it's Emby. Welcome to part 2 of regripping your golf clubs. In this part, I forgot these stupid whitening strips in there. Alright, so yeah, part 2 of regripping your golf clubs. In this part, I'm going to describe a little bit about what you need to do to figure out how you want your grip as far as size and how you want it placed on the club as far as the arrows pointing down to the club or hiding them or whatever you may prefer. Alright, so I'm not going to go into extreme detail on how to put your grips on your clubs, but this is just going to be kind of just how I do it, and I am going to post a link that you can watch on kind of how to figure out what grip size works for you. But as far as my video, I'm just going to go through the basic things here. In that video that I'm sharing, there is the guy talks about how when you put your left hand on the club at address, how it should kind of, when you put your hand on it, your fingers should be not quite digging into your palm, but not such a big gap that you can't control the club. So for me, it seems like the bigger the grip so far, the better, the more I'm able to hit the ball, less with a slice or less with a hook. So going along with that, I'm going to make all my grips just a tad bit bigger than what I had on my older irons. So that being said, let's get it started. So for putting grips on your clubs, you're going to need a few things here. For me, I need the double-sided tape. So once you put the grip solvent on, which you will also need, it's kind of like the lube and the glue that you need to help the tape stick to the inside of the grip and the shaft. I use masking tape underneath the double-sided tape because that's what I use to make my grips a little bit thicker. So the more wraps you go up and down, the thicker it's going to be. And then you're also going to need your clubs and the grips themselves. These grips here are Medalist brand grips. You can barely see it on there, but I just like the fact that they're completely red. The grips are the only thing about my golf stuff that I really like to stand out, and that's just a mental thing for me. Just looking down and seeing something that sticks out a little bit more is something that helps me out a little bit with my swing. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do when you're about to start putting the tape on your grip is get a little short piece of masking tape and the grip itself and measure the length of the grip down the shaft. Remember that the butt end of the shaft doesn't count as part of the actual shaft, so kind of want to go like maybe halfway up that little butt part, and then measure down from there. So I'm just going to put this piece of masking tape at the very tip of the shaft, or the grip, so that way I know how far to tape down and then go back up from there. Alright, so now I'm just going to start taping the shaft. I'm going to put an initial piece of masking tape around the very tip so I can at least get that covered and not have to worry about trying to bend the tape around and all that, because you don't want folds in there because it'll make it a little bit. Sometimes you can feel it, especially towards the middle and the bottom of the club. You don't want folds because it's going to be like a little minute thing that you may feel in your grip while you're gripping your club. Remember that it's up to you to decide how much tape you want to put underneath the grip. All depends on personal preference and the size of your hands. Alright, so I've taped my pitching wedge, and just try to remember what you've done. If you've done them in the past, it's always wise to write down how many layers or wraps up and down you've done for each club, so the next time you have a reference point to go off of. Like me, I forgot to do that last time, so On my driver, I did up and down, I think 3 times with another up and down on the top hand. So the pitching wedge, the shorter irons are probably going to be a little bit less tape than what I do on the little bit longer irons. So I'm thinking 8-9 pitching wedge. I'm going to do up and down. I think I just did it once, just up and down once, and then another another down on the left hand, and then 7-6-5. I'm probably going to go up and down twice with another down wrap on the left hand as well. Okay, so now that I've got all of them wrapped with masking tape, it's time to go to the vise in the garage. Okay, so we're out here in the garage. I think I forgot to mention a couple pieces that you might need for this job. You'll need the vise here. This little thing right here, I've gotten with a couple different sets of grips. This is to be able to put your club in it and then clamp the vise down so you're not smashing up the steel of the shaft and all that. And I would advise using a pair of work gloves, so that way when you're sliding the grip on, it's not going to rip your hands apart. Alright, so once you have the grip in place, we can go ahead and get a piece of double-sided tape out and place it on the grip. You'll want to start just a little bit past the end of the tip of the shaft. That way you can put a little twisty tip on it, so none of your solvent's going to go down in the club and make it rust from the inside. So feel that. So stick it on there, go ahead and wrap it around as much as you can. This double-sided tape probably won't go all the way around the shaft now that we have that extra tape on there, but that's just fine. We're just looking for help with the grip sticking. So go ahead and get this second side peeled off of there. Bam. Alright, giddy up. Alright, so you can see I have the excess at the end here, and I'm just going to squeeze this all together and kind of twist it and push it down into the shaft there. I want to get my gloves on and give this tape a little spray. So we're going to want to spray the tape from all angles if possible. You don't need to get a lot on there. The more you put on, the more the easier it's gonna be to install the grip, but it's gonna take a lot longer to cure after that. You're gonna want to spray just a little bit inside the grip as well. I always take it and I do about 4 sprays and just rotate the shaft around, and then I make sure I go up and down with it to get the solvent moved all around in there. That way it's all evenly spread. And then we start working it on there. So just take a little bit of the side of the grip, work it on there just a little bit, and then once you got it on, you're pretty much golden from there. As long as the tape's gonna work with you. But this is why you put the gloves on, so your hands don't get destroyed, especially if you plan on playing soon. Every once in a while you'll see the end of the grip start to try to roll up. That's okay, just work it around until it's not doing that anymore. It's not gonna hurt anything to move it back and forth. Yeah, look at that slide on there. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. Actually forced some of the solvent out of the end of the grip there. I almost forgot. You can remove that I don't know, line-up tape from before, so we know where the end of the grip is now since we already got our other tape on there. But yeah, just work it on there. Once you got it on what you feel like is all the way, you can take it, line it up to the head of the club. See, my arrow is a little off there. I don't want to be standing there holding the club with it that close. So I'm going to twist that around and get that to where I want it. Get all the lines straightened up. Get them. This has an arrow at the top of the grip and at the bottom of the grip. So I'm going to get both of them lined up. Get it comfortable looking for me. And then the final step for getting your grip on there all the way is to pop that little cap onto the end of the shaft. Just tap it on the ground. So now that you have them all complete, you can step back, put them all together, and look how pretty they are and be amazed by the great job that you did. So that concludes the gripping process. It's fairly simple. I mean, I just put all those grips on in less than a half an hour, and there were 6 of them, so less than 5 minutes per grip. Everybody's got time for that. It's easy, it's cheap. You don't have to wait a couple days for somebody else to do it for you and then not be satisfied. You can, at least your own work, you can be dissatisfied with it and not be so pissed off because you wasted money. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Be sure to like and subscribe and post your comments on what you think I can do better with these videos, and I'll see you later. Remember that you can always check me out on Facebook, just MB Duncan, D-U-N-C-A-N. You can see what I'm up to. I usually post some pictures of running here and there, or of my babies, and you can see what I'm doing all the time. Yeah, check me out.